Hey y'all, so I'm coming to you with a nice little video. It's not going to be short, it's going to be kind of extensive, um, about purchasing a home and how I purchased my home for $2,200 with bad credit, and no money besides initially the $1,000, but a total of 2,200. So first, the website that I purchased the home from is from buildingdetroit.org. It is the City of Detroit's land bank website where you can either do auction or own it now. So I'm going to walk you through the whole process on how I got my home for $2,200. So first, what I did was went to the website, looked through the website, saw the caliber of homes, and looked at the auction. And I watched the auction for like a minute, like several days. I watched the auctions for like days. And kind of just to see how much people were like winning and bidding and all that kind of stuff, just to kind of feel for it. I didn't have enough money for the auction homes. The auction homes are really nice homes that don't require that much work, in my opinion. They don't require that much work, and they go for a lot more money than I could afford. The own and now homes are a lower caliber of homes that requires more work, but sell for a lot less because they require you to put so much into them. And I also want to set the disclaimer: I am no way, shape, or form affiliated with the City of Detroit or the land bank, buildingdetroit.org, or any of that. So the own it now is more of a lower caliber of homes. You are going to put more money into it to get it up to your preference and everything. So first thing that I did after I watched the auction, saw I didn't have enough money for that, I started looking through the own it now. Okay. I gathered a list of own it now homes that I liked. And I started checking to see if they had property taxes owed on them by checking the Wayne County Treasury website. I started calling the water department to see if they had any water, if the water lines were cut, and if there was any backwater bills owed or anything like that. And I called DTE to see if there were any blocks or thefts on the address as well. Once I had my list together and I had all that information next to each home, so I write down the address, put down my preference, if it's like top preference, second preference, third preference of the home. I wrote on the same list, like, is it back taxes, is it water bill owed, is it a theft or whatever on the address for the DTE. So once I had all this on a piece of paper, I then did my research on how to get discounts, and because they have a discount section on the site on different ways you can qualify for discounts. So I know that over the years they have added more ways you can qualify for a discount. At the time when I did it, which was 3 years ago, I actually just hit my 3-year mark on April 11th of being a homeowner. But when I did it 3 years ago, it was only a few options for for the discount. So I did the homeowners class, which they still do offer a discount for that. It's a 20% discount. And I did it through NACA. But NACA, NACA. They offer free homeowner or home buyer classes. You just have to find one that's close to you. It's a 4-hour class, and you just sitting there and you're listening to all these different people talk about all the resources that are available to you if you purchase a home. They cater to not only the land bank, but if you also want to buy a home, like finance a home, they help you with that too. Good program, a lot of good information. Definitely suggest taking a class. Even if you don't purchase through the land bank, it is a good source of information for you to have to purchase if you're planning on purchasing a home as well. So I took the NACA class. I flew to Detroit. I took the NACA class because at the time I was living in Atlanta. I took the NACA class, 4 hours. It was at the Detroit library, the main library, and got all this information. And then had one of the speakers in the class Gay got his card so that Monday, because this was like a Saturday, so on Monday I can go to his office and he can print off my certificate. I could then submit that certificate to the land bank so that they can apply for the discount. You want to take the class before you bid for a house so that you can get your discount approved, because you don't want to bid on a house and don't have the discount approved, and you're not going to be able to use your discount. So you want to take the class first, get their certificate, and a lot of them know that people are just taking the class to get their certificate. So when you go there, if you're solely trying to just get their certificate, you don't care about none of the information they provided to you at this meeting. You don't care about none of the resources and benefits and all of that. And you just want the certificate. Just tell them, hey, thank you, I just need the certificate. I'm trying to buy a house off the land bank. And that's it. You're not obligated. It doesn't cost you anything. It's totally free. Just let them know you want your certificate. So, got the certificate, sent it to the land bank. Once it was approved, and I was calling them every single day, like, hey, this is Anaya Mack, calling to see if my discount was approved for the homeowners class. I submitted my certificate. It took them about 2 weeks. Once it got approved, I was like, okay, now I can bid for a house, because now my discount is approved. So I know for sure whatever house I get, regardless of the amount, even if it's $1,000 house, you get the 20% off at $700. So, and that's not the only discount that they offer. That's the one that I qualified for at the time. However, I see that now they offer discounts for teachers, I believe, state employees, police officers, and these are all, is those city employees and all that, and police officers and teachers. And if you are a family member of someone like that fits those job descriptions, then you can get the discount or use their discount as well. And I think friends too or something. I'm not sure how that works. So you may want to do a little bit more research to confirm how that process actually works. But anyway, so I got approved for it. I then put a list of houses together that I really liked. Came to Detroit with my list and looked at all the houses. Hated all the houses. The houses that I had on my list were on the west side, because that's where I'm from and that's where I wanted to stay. But the neighborhoods were terrible, or the house was on like a deserted block, or they were in between two abandoned homes. Like, it was a lot of little things that I didn't like about the house that I had on my list. So I was feeling really discouraged. I was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe, I need to stay in Atlanta. Maybe this is God's plan. Like, I was really discouraged. And I'm a person who always like, well, maybe this is what God wanted, so like, I don't know. But yeah, so I was really discouraged. And my, at the time, boyfriend, he was like, no, maybe you just need to open your search up a little bit. Maybe you can't just confine yourself to just living in this one area. Maybe you need to open it up a bit. Okay, cool. So I opened it up to the east side. And that night, I put a whole list together of houses on the east side. It was like 15 houses, like 15 or 20 homes. So we start looking at it. I'm like, heck, no, and no. And then we got to like house number 7 or 8, which was my house. And it was like 2 houses on my block that were on the list. And I was like, dang. So we rode past mine. I'm like, okay, let's see the other one. Rode past the other one. Now, the other one was in way more condition. It had newer windows. It had a garage with a garage door on it. And it looked functioning. And it was fine. But it was smaller. And I was like, okay, go back down the street. Let's look at the other one again. Looked at the other one, my house. And I was like, well, it has all the stuff that I need. It has the windows. It has the door. It has the roof. I like it. That's the one I want. Now, here's the thing. When looking at houses on the land bank, you want to kind of set what you're willing and not willing to deal with right off the rip. My thing was no fire damage, no foundation issues, and no roof issues. Those are my 3 things. If it had anything else, I could probably work around it. But roof, fire, and foundation, it was a no for me. So this house had everything that I needed it to have. It even had all the windows. They were just old windows, but it had all the windows. And so what I ended up doing was, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with that. And so I got back to Atlanta. I showed my dad. I took pictures of the house, like the outside. I showed it to my dad so he can see. He was like, oh yeah, that looked like a good one. So I bid it on it. The home price at the time was $2,700. That was the minimum. And this was on it now. The minimum was $2,700. And so I knew that I would get 20% off. So with my 20% off, it ended up being like $2,160. Mind you, like I said in the beginning, I literally only had my $1,000. Look, fat from the angle. Okay. So I only had my $1,000. So I had to go in super grind mode to make sure that I had the money to get the house. So I bid on the home, waited my 72 hours. I can't remember if someone else bidded on it or not. But at the time, on the Own It Now, on the land bank, they were doing where you could see what the other person bid. So I don't think nobody else bidded on this house, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so I won the bid after 72 hours. It was like, congratulations, you won. I hope I can find the videos because of me going through this process, and I will insert them if I can find them, and I hope I can. But anyway, so I won the bid. So now I had to wait for them to draft $1,000 that I had out of my account. So days went by, they hadn't drafted the money out. So I'm like, oh my God. So I started calling. I'm like, hey, it said I won, but you guys didn't draft the money out. She said it does take a few days, but I do see you were the winning bid. So it should come out of your account soon. So eventually it did come out of my account. They sent me an email saying, congratulations, all this stuff. And it said that, you had to get like this purchase agreement and all this stuff notarized, and it wasn't a lot, but they sent you all the information that you needed to do. And then it tells you that you pay your balance when you close at your closing date. So I'm like, okay, cool. That gave me time to come up on the rest of this money. When I tell you guys, I went into super grind mode. I mean, I got a job at CVS. I also started driving for Uber. And I still have my regular full-time job as an insurance agent. So I was like on super grind mode. And I ended up making the money to make sure I had the money to close, make sure I had the money for my inspection, because you do have to get an inspection, which is like $295. And I forgot what else. So mind you, I had never seen the inside of this house. I didn't pay to do the tour or anything like that to go inside the home or anything. So I was just going off of hope, a prayer, and pictures. And so fast forward, closing day, April 11th, 2017, 18, 19, 20, yeah, 17. And I was here. I was in Detroit. I came here to close. I was super excited. I'm going to insert the videos from that because I do have those clips still. So, land bank, and I am doing my closing. Sorry about the sunglasses. I forgot my regular glasses in the car, but I'm like super excited. Today is April 11th, 2017. So this is my closing date. I have my cashier's check ready to go. And yeah, today's closing, so I'm like super excited. I'll come back to you guys when I get to the house to do the like first look and walk through and everything like that. But it's official. Like, I'm super excited. But yeah, I was super excited. I closed, I signed the documents, I gave them a cashier's check. They didn't have a key or anything to give to me so that I could like go in or anything. She said it was a lock on the door. She didn't know where the key was. It was like, it doesn't even matter because we're gonna have to change it anyway. So we got to the house and we cut the lock or something. Like, it was easy to get in. So please check out the next video to see the initial walkthrough of my home when I first purchased it and all of that good information. Thank you.